Welcome to the Red Raider Coaches Show. I'm your host, Joe Hayes, and I'm here with our head football coach, Keith Goss. Coach, welcome to another show.
It's great to be here.
I guess congratulations is in order for another victory this week and a big game here at home.
The guys did a great job. It was a great night for our community, doing the Wall of Fame. So there was a lot of great things going on.
It really was, and I was excited to kind of see the cheerleaders and the band get involved and the senior football players and just the whole community, just watching them unveil the wall, watch the old veterans run through the Red Raider one more time, the banner, and break it apart. It meant a lot to me. I know it meant a lot to them, and it really meant a lot to the community as well. And it was just really an exciting night, especially to come away with a big victory like we had.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of the way our guys played. Marion County is a good football team. They were, we were right there neck and neck at halftime, and our guys found a way to separate in the second half. And that's always good when you go and make some adjustments. The kids respond, and you come away with a win.
Sure is, Coach. We'll get into that game a little bit more, but first let's go over a few of these sponsors. Each week, Raider Nation, we like to get our sponsors recognition, and we have 6 platinum sponsors, which is our highest level. They'll be on the commercials that you'll see during the break, but I still want to mention each one of those. Industrial Forge, Parker Food Mart, Bacon County Hospital, Southside Church of God, Titan Modular Systems, and Anytime Fitness. Coach, big time companies stepped up big time for our program.
Absolutely. I mean, the support, and there's a reason we threw them down there on the field and
That's right.
paid out every home game. I mean, the level of support that they committed to our program, it's a big contribution, and we really do appreciate it.
Oh, definitely. So, Raider Nation, if you see any of those companies or any of the owners and you're out and about each week, please let them know how much you appreciate them. And you can definitely do that even more by if you can contribute any business to these local companies. And we definitely want to stress that, right, Coach, to shop local.
Shop local. Definitely everybody that supports us. I go out of my way.
Absolutely.
Go out of my way to try to support them. And that's the way it should be.
Yep, it should. So this week we want to go over our black level sponsors. A lot of these are just mainly individuals. It's the highest level of an individual package, Coach, and really a big commitment for these individuals and their families, and we definitely want to get them some recognition, and hopefully I get all these names correct. If I don't, I apologize. I'm sure my Touchdown Club will make fun of me for.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to get you.
They keep me on my toes. So, but let's go over these. We've got Jason and Melissa Taylor, Tim and Mandy Harper, our Bacon County Superintendent, Miss Judy Rowland, and I'm going to stop right there and Coach, it's one thing to have support for what you do here with your job and what she does with the administration to help you get coaches on board, to make sure the players have what they need, to school buses, and the list goes on, and for her to step up with a financial contribution as well, it's just speaks volumes of her love for Bacon County Red Raiders.
She's very supportive of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build here, and that's just one of just a few. I mean, one of the just a few out of the many things.
Yes.
That she does in supporting our programs.
And just a sweet, sweet lady.
Absolutely.
I love her to death. Definitely a asset to our school system, and just so thankful we were able to get her back home here. And Miss Judy, we thank you so much. All of our Bacon County High School and Bacon County Middle School principals, Coach, that's another.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal for those guys to step up, ladies, guys and ladies to step up and support these student athletes and you and your coaching staff.
It's always great when you feel like everybody's pulling in the same direction.
Yes.
And that's what it takes when you're trying to build a program and build something in a culture and the community. Everybody pulling in the same direction, and you can feel that right now in our county.
Absolutely. And all our principals there. We thank y'all and thank you for the job you do. We've got Bacon County Elementary School principal and assistant principal, Bacon County Primary School coach, principal and assistant principal. This is our administration. This is
Great administration here.
great, phenomenal administration. We thank each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen there. Bentley and Miss Yolanda Carter, Eric and Tanya Waters, David and Amy Taylor, Phil Davis, Bill Johnson, James Miles, Garrett Crawford, Southeast Propane, Eugene Dow, Peter Simmons, Daniel and Kylie Griffin, Alston Sweat, Jamie King Miles, Dewey and Joyce Griffin, Coach Steve Owens. Another, one of you coaches there.
And makes, contributing financially and has a son in the program.
That's right. That's right.
He's helping all over the board.
And I want to give him a good shout out with a big time victory.
Victory over Appling County Middle School yesterday. Yes, sir. 26-14, I believe.
Big game. Congratulations, Coach, in the Bacon County Middle School football. Let me find my place here. We got Jamie and Julie Sweat, Stephen and Andrea Johnson, Mr. Leonard Goss, your dad.
My
so
dad.
We appreciate your parents and their support for the program. Roger Anderson, Aaron Andrews, Heath and Shauna Carver, and I believe that's it, Coach.
Just it's great. A lot of those names contributing and finding a way to help our program, and and a lot of those people, it's just not the contribution. They're involved in the Booster Club. They are out there trying to raise money for different functions and different things we have going on. And one thing we're going to have to talk about this week is starting making the push on the reverse raffle.
Yep.
And a lot of those names, they're involved in that process and getting that set up. And so we really do appreciate everything.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank, that's Jason and Melissa Taylor, Tim and Mandy Harper, even Mr. Bentley, Miss Yolanda. Mr. Bentley does our first down markers, always big supporter of the program. Mr. Bill Johnson, we had Heath and his wife Shauna, Heath Carver, and Dewey and Joyce. Dewey always helped with cooking breakfast, and if I missed anybody in there, Peter Simmons helps coach football on the middle school staff. So Garrett Crawford, another Touchdown Club member, very involved. So, man, these people, Raider Nation, they're just phenomenal for what they do for our program. And Jason, what he's done, Tim, those guys have just put in hours that you would not believe that. The work.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make this go and grow and build. And we always can use a few more.
That's right.
So if you're out here listening and you want to find a way to get involved, obviously you can contact our Booster Club, come to a Booster Club meeting, contact Joe Hayes, contact me. I'll be happy to point you in the right direction.
We'll point you in the right direction and get you to the right people, definitely so. So, it's not too late to come in. If you want to make a financial contribution to help go towards the program, to help these student athletes, 100% of these proceeds go to Bacon County football. So it's whether it's buying them meals, we did breakfast for them last week. We
were able to purchase a new cover for our chute that had torn and weathered over 4 to 5 years, and then we were able to buy a shiver ball, which is it was about $500-600 after shipping, and that's a great tool. My D-line coach has been wanting one, so we're finally able to purchase some of those things, more equipment for the players on the field.
And Coach, this is stuff that actually goes to, in the long run, is helping the program. Whether it's food, it's the nutrition going in the players' bodies and making sure that they're getting good meals on game day, that they got plenty of energy, whether it's the equipment that they're working out with to help them get better. Again, your contributions are going towards helping make all this possible. And these people, we just can't thank them enough. Raider Nation, if you want to help, support, reach out to us. I'm on Facebook, Coach is on Facebook, shoot us a private message. We'll give you some of the Touchdown Club members' phone numbers, whatever, if you need to get out to somebody, if you would like to make a financial contribution, it would be much appreciated. Coach, let's go a little bit here into Berrien County. So Berrien rolled into town, and you know, they had a pretty good looking squad. You know, we know that they played along very well before us, and capitalized on a lot of turnovers. So I was curious to see, was it because mainly of Berrien's defense that forced those turnovers, or was it, more of Long's fault? And they came in the first half and they played us some pretty good hard-nosed football. We went in 13-14. We were down 1 point at the half.
Yeah, we were down 1 point at the half. No, they're a good football team, and they're coached very well. I've known some of their coaches for a while. I've coached with 1 or 2 of their guys on their staff. They're going to do a good job preparing a team.
Right.
And they are a good team. They're going to win their share of games this year. Mm-hmm. So, it's just really comes down to, our guys went out there and battled. We went into halftime. We made a few adjustments and ride the ship on some things we wanted to do a little better. And we went out in the second half and executed.
Well, Coach, I definitely saw the level of excitement the players when they come out of the locker room and they kicked us. It was just like it was another level of energy that I could just sense on the field with the players, and they come out ready to play in that second half, and to take that kickoff, drive it down the field and score, and then we kick to them and then force a turnover, and then we score on that drive. They're back to back within, I think, 2 minutes of starting in the second half. To be able to put 2 scores on the board was big.
When we jumped on them the first part of the third quarter, it really changed the game for the rest of the night. After that, they did try to mount up one more and score, but once we answered that score again, I think we scored 29 points in the third quarter.
Definitely. Coach, offense, let's talk about some of the players and some of the highlights. There was some pretty big plays. I know Bruce Brown had a 65-yard rushing play, was a big play for us.
Bruce finished, I want to say, around 180 and change on 19 carries. Guyton had another 120 on, I want to say 10 to 12 carries. So between them, we rushed for 300 yards. Any night you can rush for 300 yards.
It's a big night.
It's pretty good. Mason threw for 4 touchdowns. Added another around 150 throwing the ball. So, you put up that kind of yards and you protect the football. Probably the biggest stat of all of those is we didn't have a turnover.
Yep.
And when you're able to move the ball and still protect it and not turn it over, you have an opportunity to have a big night.
And Coach, let's talk a little bit about your wide receiver core. So Mason did a good job of not just going to, say, Terrion. He actually spread it out very well and kept them honest, because a lot of times they know that Terrion is probably their number one threat that they're going to have to double cover. So if they're double covering him, then that's leaving somebody open somewhere else, right. But which allowed us to get a few more openings out there and a few other wide receivers to get a touchdown.
There's no doubt. Dean got his first touchdown in high school, first receiving touchdown at the varsity level. So there were some good things happening, and other receivers were coming open. Obviously, one's he's gonna draw a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of other receivers that are very capable of running great routes. They do a great job blocking on the perimeter. Speaking of blocking, the offensive line. Wow, I mean, they have just grown by leaps and bounds over our first couple games.
Yeah.
To deliver the amount of time that Mason has had to deliver the ball in the pocket, and nobody hitting us really first level. There's several times when our running backs break large runs, nobody's touching them on the first level, nobody's touching them on the second level, and it becomes a foot race with a safety. When nobody's hitting your running back and they're making big plays, that's not just the running back.
No, you're right.
That's the guys that are doing the job in front of them.
Who are some of those guys that stood out to you?
Well, both the Griffins
Yep.
on the left side, Andrews at center. We got Jamel Hart at right guard, and golly, I drew Dylan Parker.
Yeah.
I don't know how I could draw a blank on Dylan
Yeah.
Parker, but Dylan Parker has really done a good job. All them together have just done a wonderful job. We have some other guys like Coach Owen's son that gets some minutes, and our JVO line might be taller than our varsity varsity line. So we're going to be bigger in years to come. In fact, we're going to see what those guys do today.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
At the
Coach.
JV game.
Yep.
Right over to Ludowici.
Yep, long ride to Ludowici. But defensively, Coach, another pretty good stand there for our defense. They had their fullback was a rock. I mean, that guy was thick.
He's a good running back.
Yeah, he was a very good running back, and I was worried early in the first quarter. I said, this may be what's going to give us trouble right here is stopping this guy because he just, with his weight, his athletic ability, and I said it'd be tough for anybody to stop him. But our guys did good.
Yeah, it really comes up to a team that wants to run the ball that much. You got to get them in third and uncomfortable for them.
Right.
And so, hold them to 1 and 2 yard gains, and they're looking at 3rd and 6. Well, their playbook starts shrinking.
Yep.
And teams, they're just heavy run teams. That's what they're built on. They want that 3rd and 1. They want that 3rd and 2. You get them into uncomfortable situations. That's not what they do.
Right. Well, defensively, we had some big plays. I know Trent Music come up with an interception. That was big there. And had not, I can't remember the player that went in and disrupted the quarterback or maybe tipped the ball, caused he hit him right as he was throwing the ball, and the ball flew up in the air.
I can't remember if it was Gaddafi. But I know I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it in my mind.
I see it in mine too, but right here live, trying to think of names on the spot, I drew a blank.
It might be Gaddafi, Newsom, or Joe Harris.
But there was some big plays in the backfield, quite a few sacks for a loss, which was big. A lot of them came at the right time, and when you're third and 4, and you get a sack for a 4 or 6 yard loss, or if it's 2nd down and you do the same. I say that's big, that you're forcing them on a 3rd down to have to dip into that playbook and look for a play that they're not typically used to
running, just
running
over and over again.
Yep.
So our defense is becoming very opportunistic, and on one side offensively, I think thus far we've only had 1 turnover in 3 games. Defensively, they have gotten multiple turnovers every game.
Yep.
And when you win the turnover battle, it changes the game because it gives you more offensive possessions. It really does it changes so many things if you can win the turnover battle. And we've been fortunate enough to win the turnover battle by multiple turnovers.
Coach, I know I've watched you guys do the drill where there's a fumble drill, and it was big. It really showed, I thought, this past Friday night, where the players' awareness to get to the ball was, like you said, it can be a big determining factor. Sometimes you just get lucky. A guy will drop the ball and it bounces right back up into his hands, or it bounces right in front of him and he just falls on it. There's nothing really you can do about that. But if you attack that ball and you attack it in the right way, like you guys show them, your chances of coming up with that, or you increase your odds by a lot.
Right, and that's things that we're going to do defensively.
Yeah.
We're going to come after people. We're going to apply pressure, and whenever we can separate somebody from the ball, we're going to do everything we can to do it.
Yeah. Well, Coach Regal, I want to commend him. Like I said, defense did a good job, and I like his blitz packages. He always seems like they're coming, right at the right time. And our guys are just doing a really good job of staying creative and shifty on that to keep our opponents on their toes.
Well, with the style of defense we play, we're going to be moving.
Yeah.
We're going to move and bring pressure from different spots. When you only base out a three-man D-line, you're going to send pressure. You just don't sit in a three-man front without bringing pressure from somewhere. And so, we're going to do that, and we're going to move up front and bounce between three-man and a four-man defensive line and try to cause confusion and havoc and get after people.
Yeah. Coach, it's nothing against their coach. I had a lot of people ask me in town, and just to clarify for Raider Nation, we know that their coach got ejected. Was that really? It was for a sideline warning, wasn't it? He was on the field.
You only get so many warnings from the referee to get off the field, and I didn't know when he picked up one of them, but I do know he picked up the first one. I know when he picked up the last one.
Yeah.
I don't remember in the game where he picked up the second one. But it's, it is what it is. If they tell you to get off the field, the conversation's pretty much over.
Yeah. And, unfortunate for him, and just to educate us all as a coach, just like a player, if you get ejected from the game, does he have to sit out next week?
You sit the next week, and you, unlike the players, pay a healthy
fine. Yes. So, and I just remember that when you started to say it, I forgot about that.
There's, once upon a time, a younger Coach Goss got to pay that fine, and it's not fun.
No, so I'm sure when you have to pull that paycheck out of the back pocket and write that check out to GHSA, you're like...
You generally don't do it very often.
No, not at all.
Like I said, I've been doing this 19 years, it happened once.
Yeah, and it's going to happen, with every coach, and it's a very intense sport, and you're getting all hopped up and you're pushing your players, and if you get a bad call or don't understand the call, or
Right.
tempers can flare pretty quickly, and
it's a passionate game.
It is a passionate game, and that's the word I was looking for there, Coach. Well, we're going to take a quick break and get our sponsors a little recognition, and after the break, we'll come back and talk about Brantley County. Welcome back, Raider Nation, to the Red Raider Coaches Show. Well, Coach, this week we are finally have a away game. We are rolling out to the big city of Nahunta, Brantley County, Georgia. I think, what did Travis, he called them the Brantley County Ponscoggins, but we know it's the Herons. We no disrespect to them.
I can't even joke about it. That was where they gave me my first job.
That's right.
They gave me my first job, and I think a lot of the people in that community, good people. Coach Hendricks, I know you're going to be watching this evening, so hello. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I've got a lot of family over there, so I have to poke fun with them just a little bit. And anyway, I know I usually get a good smile. But Brantley County is always a very worthy opponent. Long football history there too. In that community, so it's important to them. We're not going to a town where it's basketball, which they are a big basketball town too. But
they are. The thing is, this year they started off slow just like we did.
Yeah.
But you can put on the film, and you can watch it week by week, and watch them improve week by week. They're going to get over the hump, and they're going to beat some teams this year.
Yeah.
We just don't want it to be this week.
That's right.
So,
Hopefully we're better prepared.
So we're going to continue to work and build and do our part as well. But you can tell those coaches are working hard.
Yeah.
And it's showing in their product. Last week they held Jeff Davis to 0 offensive touchdowns. Now, Jeff Davis, they have some injuries, but still, to hold him to 0 offensive touchdowns, and Jeff Davis only scored on 2 pick sixes. and that score was 14-6. So it was a tough, competitive game.
Yeah, it was, and JD's been a pretty good defensive team, so I'm sure it was just one of them knockdown, drag out, defensive hell games.
Yeah, it was a struggle,
Yeah.
a defensive struggle on both sides, and Jeff Davis found a way, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Brantley County's gonna be physical.
Yeah.
They're gonna come out to hit you in the mouth. That's their style of football. Offensively, they'll do some things off a spread, and they'll give you some funky formations and try to make you align wrong and take advantage of some things. But they're gonna come out and try to hit you in the mouth. That's what they do.
Well, Coach, definitely over the last 5 years, I've seen a big improvement out of Brantley County football. And they showed us last year when they come up here. I mean, they were very well prepared, even though we didn't get to finish the game due to the storms. But
yeah, they got one drive offensively. I would have liked to see what we could have done with our turn.
That's right.
They were a real good football team last year. They made it to the state playoffs.
Yep.
Now I know they graduated some of those guys, and that big fullback they used when they went Wishbone.
Yeah.
I think he's with Air Force now. They did graduate some talent,
Yeah.
especially up front. But they're no matter who they have personnel wise, they're going to be well coached.
And that's what I was about to say, Coach. And that was the one thing in the one drive that I saw was execution. And when you see a team executing the way that they did, that they methodically moved down that field, and I just said, this is a very well coached team. This is different in some of the past Brantley County teams that I've seen. And so he's definitely got the right thing going on over there, what they're doing with his coaching staff, and I know he's doing everything to get them prepared to, they want to win this week. So they took one on the chin last week. We were fortunate enough to walk away with a win, so they got everything to gain, and we just got to keep moving forward. But
that's right. Coach Cannon is going to do a great job preparing his team. It's going to come down to out executing them and protecting the ball.
Yeah. Coach, roughly how many players does Brantley County have, do you think, that we'll see? Are they in that 60, 70?
They're in the 60 range. I want to say, I think when I talked to them, they had about 68.
Okay, so we're pretty close. We're 62, 60.
We're hanging right around 61, 60 at this point. That's with my walking wounded too. Dress out wise, we're probably 55, 54 actual dressers right now, and then we have some guys that we're hoping to get back as the season keeps going. May get healthy at the right time and help us in region play.
Offensively, what can we be prepared to see Brantley? What type of offense do they run, Coach?
They're going to base out of a spread, but they have no fears with giving as multiple as possible. They want to try to make you miss a line. So they're gonna do some things where they might come out 2x2 spread, and they may jump in a package where they have two sniffer backs, direct snap to a quarterback. They're gonna do things to create yardage and create first downs. So you're liable to see a couple different creative formations, and if they feel like they can do it with some tight end sets and oversets, they'll get creative with it.
Okay, so they. Some similarities to what we're used to, or what here Bacon County's used to seeing, of what we've kind of run in the past, of what we've done here too as well. So
we're going to be multiple as well. I'm sure they're going to give us a formation that we haven't seen offensively, and they know me. Some of my friends, they know they're about to get the same thing.
Right.
Something they haven't seen on film. So that's just coaching. That's just football. Trying to make the other guy work and make it tough on their kids to align properly. That's just football.
That is, Coach. They size-wise, are we pretty comparable, or they got some pretty big kids up front?
It's Brantley County. They pulled them out of the swamp, baby, and they got some size.
Yeah, they usually do. Defense, Coach. What type of defense are they running this year? Have they?
They're going to base out of a 4-man front. They're going to try to keep it in front of you. Keep you in front of them. Rally up, make sound tackles. Wait for you to make a mistake, and capitalize on it.
Yeah.
They're very opportunistic. Their linebacking core is pretty sporty. There's one I really liked. He may or may not be injured, but I'll call his number because, I mean, I think the kid's that good. Number 48, if he's healthy, you're going to see a really good linebacker for Brantley County.
I got you.
They have another one, 45, that I think I saw him on some film earlier in the year. He might be getting back healthy. But let me tell you, as far as watching a guy play, I like number 48 from Brantley County.
So that's the key defensive player, and I didn't think to ask you, who would you say is the key offensive player? Is it the quarterback, running back, quarterback?
They're quarterbacks. It all runs through him.
Yeah, I got you. So, Bacon County, make sure you keep an eye on those guys, and we definitely want our Red Raiders to keep an eye on them. So, we know you guys have worked our players, hard all week, and practices go well. Injuries, Coach. Tell us a little bit about practice this week and just injuries. Did we have any after Friday night?
No, nothing really of consequence, and probably nothing I'd put on air since I know Coach Hendricks is going to watch it. No, really, we're fairly healthy at the moment.
Okay, well, good deal in practice this week. The players were all good. Spirit's good.
Oh yeah, obviously there's some. There's some competitiveness, juices flowing, and guys, competing for time and shuffling of, guys. There's no starting job that's year long.
Yeah.
You're competing for your job every week when you go out, and that competition breeds success. Mm-hmm. And so nobody's guaranteed a spot from week to week. And some guys battled and earned other opportunities.
That's good, Coach. That's real good. I like to hear that. And and I want to challenge them. I'll say we got a little bit of revenge to prove right here against Brantley County, and I challenge the players to rise to the occasion and play good Red Raider football. And let's go over there and get a victory this week, because last time they were here, we didn't get that opportunity to show our side of the ball, and so this is our time to shine now.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, this week feeding, we didn't mention last week, we said that we would get them the recognition. So before pregame on Friday last week, we had Nazarene. My mind went blank there. So Dan Taylor, they provided the pregame meal. We're very thankful for that. Benchmark Therapy did breakfast for us, and the Touchdown Club provided the meal after the game, and so we're very thankful for them last week. This week we've got Lee's Chapel doing pregame. We got Alma Pro Wash that's doing breakfast for us tomorrow, and again the Touchdown Club doing the postgame meal. And again, these players work hard all week, and we want to give them a good meal in the morning. We want to feed them a good meal before the game and after the game with all the energy that they've left on the field and expended. We want to boost them back up to get them through the weekend.
And everybody that does that and helps and supports in that, we really appreciate it. We try to do everything we can to make sure we're feeding our guys and putting the best stuff in them. We do sandwiches and chocolate milks after they work out on a daily basis, and just everything we can to continue to build our guys up.
And Coach, I'm thankful for the speakers too, that typically the churches for pregame, they'll bring in a speaker, right, and they'll speak to the players. And last week, I feel we were very fortunate to get the Wall of Fame guys in here. That's right. And Coach Ward did a phenomenal job, y'all.
He did. He hung around for the whole game.
Yes.
Afterwards, he told me if I was ever looking for an O-line coach, he felt like he had a few left in him. I thought that was great.
I had a great time with him. And Coach, even after the game, I think we were the last people in the stadium when I finally looked at Coach and my wife, and I was like, look, y'all, I think they're fixing to turn the lights off on us. And we just, having a good time talking about Bacon County football. And I've never had the opportunity to meet Coach Ward until this past Friday. And being a big-time fan of Bacon County, I wanted to try to learn everything about him and, get to know him. And my wife, she knew him, and he was a teacher and a coach when she was in school. So she was playing catch-up with him and his wife and catching up on old times, and for me, it was just learning new things, and just what a great man. Each of those Wall of Fame people, I had a good time, Coach, talking with all of them.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, and usually, you know, when I'm in the game day routine, you know, I don't have very much free time or downtime, but there was, you know, a couple moments I got to spend with them. It was really nice talking to those guys, and you could tell how much they still loved Raider Nation and
Yeah.
being a part of it and part of the experience, and to honor them, and you know, they were very humble,
Yeah.
very proud, and it's a cool, very cool thing to be a part of.
It was, and even like seeing Mr. All, Mr. Bill All, and
Let me tell you, that dude's build was impressive.
I'm telling you.
His shoulders were still the square, that square and that broad across to be a guy his age. I tell you what, he's a dude.
It was, and Raider Nation, please, if you get a chance, like I said, the people involved in this, thank Jason Taylor, John Hughes, Lisa Hughes, Heath Carver, Tim Harper, Rasheed Slade. There's some more names in there. Mr. Larry Taylor, the Bacon County Touchdown Club, our Alma Lions Club, and also Bacon County School System. So the financial contributions came
in and supported it late to help finish some things off.
Yep. So we didn't quite have enough, and for, you know, if it wasn't for the Touchdown Club and the Alma Lions Club and Bacon County School System, it took all of us.
It took everybody, and that part I thought was great.
Yeah.
That you have a community pulling together the way we did.
Yeah.
To make something in our community that much better, and I think that just shows the strength of Bacon County.
Absolutely, Coach, and you know, it was exciting too, just seeing the players just like after breakfast, and them hearing those old guys speak, and some of them, it was just the sheer size. There was one of our linemen, all the Wall of Fame guys were sitting behind us, all the players were down front, so all they could see was like here up, and then after breakfast got over, everybody stood up to leave, and one of the offensive linemen turned around and he's like, holy cow, he is huge. And just talking about the sheer size of some of the players, I'm like, wow, he was a big dude. And just seeing that, you know, it's good feeling, good vibes, and just getting to know that that guy right there, that Hall of Famer, has got the same Red Raider spirit and the Red Raider fire that you have. And
Absolutely.
You know, one day you have the opportunity, if you perform as well on the field and off the field as they did, that, you know, your name will hopefully go on that wall one day also. And we just thank all those people, thank the Touchdown Club. We thank BrentJohnson with BCTV for making this possible. And Coach, anybody else you want to thank out there before we go?
I'm sure there's somebody I could.
Yeah. If not, we'll get them next week. We'll pick them up next week. Well, Raider Nation, we thank you. We thank you for your time. We thank you for tuning in. Load up as many as you can. We need a big turnout, big support over in Brantley County. I think that's going to be a big deal. You know, 12th man is always a big factor for games, especially when you go away. Because you know the hometown's going to have a big crowd in there. So Bacon County, as many as we can, load up. Come on, let's ride over. Nate Hunter's not that far away. Just hit 32 to Hortense. Take a right. When you get to Nate Hunter to the red light, take a right back towards Waycross, and the school will be on your left. So it's not that hard. Pretty straight shooting there, not many turns. So anyway, we'll be glad to see as many Red Raiders over there as possible. And Coach, we wish you luck, and the players good luck and safe travels, and good luck to our JV team going to Ludwig tonight. And go Big Red.
Appreciate it. Go Big Red. Horns up.